So why don't more freight brokers just become freight agents? Let's dig into it. Welcome back to Freight 360, everybody. I'm Nate Cross, and today I'm going to go over a question that we received online. This is all about freight agents, so I'm going to read this off. Why would a freight broker not work as an independent agent? 50, 60, 70% commission models seem much more appealing than what most of these other W-2 model organizations are offering. What is stopping W-2 brokers from jumping ship and starting an agency? It's a very good question, and I work in the agent world, and I have for many, many years, and I've come across this so many times in my career. So I think one of the first things that you have to do is determine what is the difference between an agent and a regular W-2 freight broker, okay? So most folks that get started in brokerage, they get a job for a larger freight brokerage company, they're a W-2 employee. Now, if you're a 1099 freight agent, you're not employed by that company, you're not W-2, they don't withhold your taxes, you don't have a boss, you don't get a workspace. You are independent, you're an independent contractor by the way that the tax law is structured. So for that reason, you cannot receive a base pay, all right? And they're not gonna pay you to get trained and all that stuff most of the time. So the biggest reason I think a lot of folks will not switch to the 1099 independent freight agent model comes down to a handful of things. I think number one, some people, no matter how confident they are that their book of business is strong and it will follow them if they leave, they just will not walk away from a base pay, right? A lot of these W-2 companies are gonna give you like, I don't know, 15 bucks an hour, 20 bucks an hour, something like that. So they might get $30,000 or $40,000 a year in base pay, guaranteed, regardless of how they produce. And then they might have that 15, 20% commission on top of that, whether they hit some goals or, milestones or whatnot. Even though they might make more money as an agent, some people are just afraid to walk away from that stability that the W-2 model offers to folks. Now, I think the second thing is confidence in your book of business. So you might have grown a very large book of business as a W-2 broker, but will those customers actually follow you to another company when you make that switch? And I've seen a lot of folks that they're super confident, they're ready to do it, like, Nate, let's become an agent, and they do it, and they realize that there's like a 20 to 25% turnover on average of all their customers. That could be because of contracts that are in place with their previous brokerage, or maybe they were just a little bit more confident in their relationship with their customer than they actually, than actually was the case. I think the last part comes down to non-competes and non-solicitation agreements. So, a lot of W-2 employees, as part of their employment contract, have to sign a variety of clauses that will tell them they cannot go work for a competitor if they ever leave, they cannot solicit customers if they ever were to leave, and they cannot share any trade secrets or pricing if they ever are to leave. Now, non-competes is a totally different discussion. I don't want to dig into it, but it will usually limit, or at least scare people enough to limit them from working in the industry as an agent or for another company for at least a year or 2 years, depending on whatever company they're coming from. So that's my take on why a lot of folks decide not to become agents and to stick with the W-2 world. So make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. You'll get the latest videos from our Freight 360 YouTube channel as soon as they come out. We'll see you on the next one.